My day is made because Brad Goreski's here from It's a Brad World. Born to be
Hi.
Brad. It's an awesome book.
Thanks.
There's pictures.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, there we go.
There's pictures.
Yes.
There's behind the scenes.
Yes.
There's so many interesting nuggets about you, Brad.
Yeah.
And in a sense, you're not an overnight success. I mean, it seems like in a way the Bravo show came and it's like a lot of this happened pretty overnight, but you've been working hard at this for a very long time.
Yeah, that's kind of was the whole point of the book too, was to show people the obstacles that I faced in my life and how I overcame them and how they made me the person I am today in a way, but also to show people that I think when people saw me on the Rachel Zoe project, they were like, oh, he's a celebrity and he's, doing this job and it all just happened. And it was like there were a lot of steps before that I wanted people to see the real, truth about getting into the fashion world.
Do you think you cry so much because people in fashion can be so mean?
I think I cried so much on my show this year because I was writing this book at the same time.
Okay. Because there's one thing in particular in your book that I noticed about when you were working for Vogue in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was a stone missing or something wrong with the garment and you had nothing to do it and immediately it was your fault.
Immediately, yes. Well, the other thing was too is the jewelry. I don't know if I can't remember if I put this in the book, but there was the first night that I had to open up the safe to put the jewelry back in after a shoot. I couldn't figure it out, and I had like a meltdown. Meltdown.
Wait, no, you had a meltdown? That is very...
350 pieces of jewelry,
very
just like sitting there with 2 security guards, and they didn't know how to open it either.
That's pressure.
I had to call the lady, Barbara, who was like walked the halls like kind of angrily all the time, and
I'll handle that.
Yeah, exactly. And I called her and she like talked me through it while her cats were like scratching at the phone. I swear to God, she was sweet.
We love her. So there's so much to ask you about. When you see Devil Wears Prada, is that like, oh my God, I live that?
No, actually, The Devil Wears Prada was kind of the actual opposite of what I experienced. I saw some similar things in there, in terms of people changing their shoes when they had to go into Anna's office and stuff like that. But for the most part, people were really, really kind to me. Really kind.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good. So you've styled so many celebrities. You see someone like a Cameron Diaz and they're skinny and beautiful and fabulous. Like, what celebrity has a bunion or a corn or
all of them? It's always on the feed.
I mean, is there someone? Come on, give me a celebrity bunion. Besides Oprah.
The thing is they everybody, I think, and this is another thing about the book, is everybody, I think we all have ideas about people, and of course we only see what's put out there, but everybody has their days when they feel bloated and not cute and don't feel like getting dressed up and don't want to put on a pair of heels or want to wear tights with it,
Look at him dodging the question. You're like a politician. Okay. So you watched The Real Housewives, obviously. You've watched
of
a lot.
Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of Marlo bringing all of those shoes to Africa? Because you have a section in your book about traveling.
Yes.
And traveling light, and she clearly did not. Thoughts, Brad?
My bigger concern is you can travel with that, but setting up your hotel room like a store is kind of weird.
Okay.
The be-all and the end-all for me is Phaedra and Sheree. That's really all that I like. I can only take in so much, and if it involves Phaedra or Sheree, then I'm fine.
Okay.
I think they're like the be-all and end-all.
Really?
Yeah, I love them so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you Team Nene or Kim?
I mean, Kim's been playing it really, really safe this year.
Okay.
I kind of like what's happening with her. I'm very my boyfriend and I are really obsessed with Phaedra and Sheree's interviews.
Yeah.
I'm begging Andy to give me like the hours of footage so I can just watch what she says. Because her answers to those questions are really funny.
They are funny.
They are really funny.
So while we're talking about Andy Cohen and like all the games that you play on Watch What Happens Live.
Yep.
Can we play a game with you called Would You Rather?
Sure.
Okay. Andy Cohen or Anderson Cooper?
Oh my God. Would I rather do what with them though?
Well, okay, whatever.
I'll say for politics, for political reasons, Anderson Cooper.
Okay. Now remember, you have to choose Rosie O'Donnell or Roseanne.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay. Cindy McCain or Callista Gingrich?
Callista Gingrich.
Really?
Yeah.
Her
why
hair's
not?
pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like perfect.
yeah, I like
Doesn't move.
perfect hair.
I know. Romper or Bermuda shorts?
Romper.
Who's a better dancer? Camille from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or Brandy?
Definitely Camille.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? She's got those moves.
Okay. This is going to be a tough one, Brad. Michael Kors or Isaac Mizrahi?
Michael Kors.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Andre Leon Talley or Karl Lagerfeld? You have to choose.
That's hard. I would say Andre Leon Talley because he's been more of like a guiding force inspiration for me.
He seems to be a great guy.
His book is so good. Really good.
And I like how he fluctuates with his weight. I mean, I don't mean that as a mean thing.
Well, it keeps us human.
Well,
my
that's
weight
right.
fluctuated after the breakfast I had this morning.
Oh, stop it. You sent a tweet. No,
It
meanwhile.
did 5 pieces of bacon, 4 pancakes, scrambled eggs, a muffin, potatoes.
But hang on, Brad.
I usually have like oatmeal and a blueberry.
Okay, let's talk about that because when will you eat again? Next Tuesday?
Well, I was kind of debating.
See? Okay, because on your show, it's a Brad world. There's one scene that my producer and I picked apart.
Which one?
The one where you're eating apple slices. And I'm like, whatever, apple slices.
Well, it was late at night. It was like midnight. There was, okay, let me just preface that with, there was a candy bar, like a full bar of like Jelly Bellies at the Us Weekly party that Gary and I really got into, so we had to balance that. But do I need to remind you how many times we ate pizza on the show?
True.
Every single meal
but I love
involved
it. It's
pizza.
like, we can have pizza once a year. And that'll be all. I had one more here. Nate Berkus or Vern Yip?
Definitely Nate Berkus.
Oh, gosh. Vern Yip's local, though. You know.
Oh, so what does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Room 1628 at the Ritz-Carlton? Like, what's happening? What's being sold here?
There's so much to talk about. But I want to do something current. Tell me about the Oscars and Maya Rudolph.
Oh, what do you want to know?
You styled her. Was she the only one you dressed?
For the Oscars carpet, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you got that call, were you like, oh my God, this is the hottest thing ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I'm
Okay.
obsessed with her.
Okay.
I'd actually met her at a couple of events, and she was her publicist called me, and I love working with, the women I work with are all really, really funny and super intelligent, and having the opportunity to work with Maya and be in fittings with her, and we had a really good time.
Besides Maya Rudolph, who was the best dressed at the Oscars?
My top 3 were Gwyneth Paltrow and Tom Ford, Jessica Chastain and Alexander McQueen, and Michelle Williams and Louis Vuitton.
Okay. All right. There's so much to talk with you, Brad. I want to be best friends with you forever. I think so many girls.
I thought we were.
Oh my God, thanks. The book is fantastic. Brad Goreski's book, Born to be Brad. I mean, how many titles did you come up with, by the way?
That was the first one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's how I work with styling too. It's always my first instinct, and It's a Brad World was the first title we thought of.
It's funny with the styling. There's one thing you're like, you thought something looked so great, and then it looked like a cheap Anthropologie photo. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Happens sometimes.
It's funny.
Yeah.
No, not to knock Anthropologie.
No.
I love it.
That's a celeb favorite too.
It is.
And a favorite in the Goreski family.
It's one of my faves.
But not as big of a favorite as Kate Spade.
Oh my God! Wait, did you have that purse that was the square, the first one, like that first?
I personally didn't have it, but I would like one now.
It's vintage. Could that ever come back in style?
Sure, maybe they'll do it as a re-edition for their 25th anniversary.
I had that purse and it hurt.
Why?
Because it was so sharp at the edges, and it would be a painful bag to have.
Well, fashion is painful sometimes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
You got to starve, and you got to be in pain to look good.
You don't necessarily have to starve.
Okay. All right. Well, you're talking about starving. I want to talk about Rachel Zoe. Get the book now. Born to be Brad. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
I love you.
Oh, thanks.